around, friends, new and old, and welcome to the Powwow Podcast. We are your hosts, Philip
and David.
And it's been a fun week, man. Honestly, this entire week has been a lot of fun. I'm looking forward much to this episode. The rest of it's going to be wedding themed of a sort. So I guess we have that to look forward to. David, any highlights for your week? Any highlights that happened for you this week?
Oh man, this week highlight. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to find. Now I've sort of gotten into a rhythm, so I guess that's kind of nice. I'm getting less sleep, but I'm enjoying the regularity that I've missed for 2 years now. So yeah, it's been good.
You know what? This week I went unshaven. I did not shave for an entire week, and I had a pretty fair amount of stubble that I shaved immediately before you could set your eyes upon it.
You didn't show it to me?
I didn't.
That is shameful.
Yeah, I didn't.
After all that we've talked about on this very podcast.
You know what it was is, honestly, if we're being technical and pulling back the curtain a little bit, we have to record a video segment of this later on down the line, and I felt it unprofessional, David, to show you, go take a shower, and then go and shave everything mid episode. That just seemed unprofessional. And so, in the interest of laziness, which I am all for, I am the king of it, I said, let's just shave now and get it all over with. And you know what? I'm still happy with the result. Look at this sexy beast looking back at you. My God, you are so welcome. Welcome back to another segment of Powwow. Of course, this is where we usually incorporate the entirety of the theme within our show. And as you may have heard earlier, we are going to be discussing weddings and the like, but it's with a certain flair to it. It's with a specific person, actually, David. I have a close friend who has recently, in pandemic times, become officiated. She's an officiator.
To
Hoffman.
Become an officiant. Yeah.
Yeah, an officiant. Yes. She has recently gained her license, I believe, and she'll correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that she has officiated like 3 to 4 weddings. Especially, again, remember in quarantine time, so they're not like huge or anything, I believe. But she has officiated 3 to 4 in her time, and we welcome to the show Julia Jones, avid listener as well. Welcome, Julia.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Pull up a log, pull up a marshmallow, and here we go. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you for coming on. Julia, was I right? 3 to 4, somewhere in there, or are you at like 5 now?
2 officially, 1 backup. I was a backup officiant.
Okay, nice.
For a friend.
Nice.
In case maid of honor wasn't enough.
Of course.
Is that like you sit on the bench and if the coach wants you in, then you
Yeah.
Oh man, put me in, coach. Yeah, no, she had an uncle who may or may not make it. So he showed up. So
Oh, nice.
Sidelined for that one.
And you know what's funny? What we really connect to on this in this particular episode is that David actually has a really close. He is aiming to be, right, David? You're aiming to be an officiant.
Well, so my sister's actually already married. Technically, they got married in court, and but when they do their fun wedding, they want me to officiate. So I don't actually have to get certified or
right.
Background checked.
A lot less
or
pressure.
anything like that.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like everyone, because I'm an actor, everyone expects me to put on like a show, and I don't know. I do feel some pressure there.
Yeah, so you need to go up there, you need to boogie oogie, and because you have everything memorized, you need to show a little pizzazz. You need to have some glitter up your sleeves.
People are expecting
some
me.
Tom Haverford
people
flair.
are expecting me to do like a stand-up routine or something, which this is not my forte at all. Julia, I have a question. Could you marry Phil and I right now?
Over a phone call. I haven't tried.
Wait, no, you need witnesses, don't you?
We need witnesses. We need an exchanging of rings and vows, but vows are the easy part here.
Yeah, vows. Me and Hoffman got that in spades. But rings. David, what kind of ring would you get me?
A doorbell ring.
No, very very fun, very fun.
Oh,
Very clever.
La cucaracha.
See, yeah. Oh, there we go. Yes. So, Julia, we are going to be talking about. We're going to probably explore weddings and marriage, as everybody loves marriage going forward. But do you have what are your themes? And as an officiant, I think that this is probably something that is very important to a lot of people. What is your role as an officiant? Do you find yourself being in the background and in the fold of a lot of weddings? Do you like to be, who was a great officiant? Julia Jones. She was a great officiant, and I'm so glad that she was there. Or is a successful marriage for you when they're like, the wedding was absolutely beautiful and they make no mention of you?
I would say that you're probably like the ringmaster, no pun intended, of the ceremony. You kind of control that space because you're the one who tells the crowd to rise when the bride is coming in. You ask them to silence their cell phones. And you get to ultimately pronounce them man and wife at the end, which is awesome. And then I think the only duty that no one really talks about is afterwards you have to turn in their certificate to the official state offices, which right now they're just having everybody mail in because of because of COVID. But yeah, it's actually pretty easy. I get paid to kind of read a script I wrote for them and just kind of romance the room.
Now, do you write the script individually for each couple, or do you use a lot of the same stuff for each ceremony?
So what I found is when I started, I was really intimidated by it. The service that I got ordained by online for free, so don't worry about that portion. It's really easy. They offered some books in how to write your ceremony. And so I went through and I kind of got ideas of what I liked, and I spiced up the areas with my own little flair that I wanted to put in there. But when it came to doing a second ceremony, I found that some chunks were able to transfer and other ones we wanted to make more personal for the couple. Yeah. And so what I would do is I would choose a word that I felt fit the couple really well. For the first couple, it was soulmates. They had a real kind of space theme going on. On one of their first few dates, they actually got tattoos together and they were going to choose each other's, and they both chose space tattoos, and it was really cute. The second couple, they just kind of were friends that fell into it, and for them, it was just effortless. And so I kind of choose a word and I base their ceremony around this word. And if they're fun and like to joke, then, then feel free to have fun and joke. But some couples are very serious. Marriage is very serious.
Yeah. Which leads us into a perfect segue here. David, what is your idea of a perfect wedding for you? Not we're not talking technical, but like if somebody was to say, Hoffman, you get to plan out this wedding. Are there certain aspects that you look for? Are there certain venues that you have in mind? Is there anything? Maybe you're just your perfect wedding is one that you don't do.
Now, I don't want to mislead our listeners because I'm not the kind of guy who's been planning his wedding since he was 4 years old. But I have given it some thought. I have to get married near the coast. I think I have to live near the coast. I can't. The idea of being inland depresses me. Something coastal where the beach can be integrated somehow into the wedding weekend. I don't like when there's like 8 bridesmaids and 8 groomsmen. I find that there's just too many people, right? So I think 4 or 5 is the magic number, maybe 4, and 100, 200 guests. Again, no thanks. I think 60 is the absolute max in my mind.
All right.
And I would love to get married on a cliff or on top of a volcano, or somewhere just nature and awesome. But obviously, I'm not a millionaire, so.
And Julia, I would be surprised given the how do I put this? The organizational sycophant that you are. You are one of the most organized people I know. I would be surprised if you don't have a few details of your wedding already set out.
Oh man. Well, I was going to say he nailed the guest count because the experts usually say around like 50 to 80 is a good party.
Oh, wow.
Any more than that, you need more bathrooms and more tables. And I've actually, if I can't be a performer, I would love to be a wedding planner, which is why I've done a little studying. But my things that I am, once again, no pun intended, married to, things that I want to happen. I've always kind of had this idea of walking down the aisle to the Phantom of the Opera. I thought that would be dramatic. I thought it would, be the kind of grand entrance.
It should be noted that what are you going to school for, Julia?
Oh, I'm just, a theater major.
Yeah, so drama is a bit in your blood.
It's the name of the game. And then I've had thoughts about I would love maybe a choreographed dance that seems like it's going to start slow.
Oh, and like
and then
Office
it tricks
mode?
the audience. Yeah. And
Sneaks
into something choreographed
awesome.
and fun. And then maybe, so I have like beginning, middle, end planned, right? The end, I would love to exit to the song Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now, very 80s. And I don't know, I'm like torn, either hot air balloon or like horseback.
Exit?
I don't know, maybe
Exit?
that's crazy. Yeah, exit.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
I have a story. My parents, for their honeymoon, my parents had the most insane honeymoon ever. They went skiing in the Alps, but they also did this thing. They did split it. They did Africa and they did the Alps, but they did this hot air balloon ride of sorts through the Serengeti, and they like bring the balloon down like right over the animals. And they were all migrating.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and you're like maybe like 30 feet above the ground. I'm putting it in feet for you Americans. Above the ground, and the animals have no instincts to look up, so they don't even know you're there. And I've heard this story, and it's just the most like I'm just envious.
You're so envious.
Much.
Yeah,
I would love to do that. Yeah.
For my wedding, I've got only like 3 details planned out, because for the rest I honestly don't care. You can put me in a pink tuxedo for all I care, because I don't care about certain things. I realize that some things are far more important. I'm pretty easygoing when it comes to a lot, but there are 3 things, and you both know me well, so you know that I'm pretty adamant whenever I am adamant about something.
Oh yes.
I'm adamant about 1, it's got to be fast. I am not here for the Catholic wedding where it's long, drawn out, and
God,
you start out in the morning for brunch, and then by the end you have hit dessert of the dinner portion. I'm serious. Like vows, and the perfect officiant for me would say, "Do you guys want to take each other as man and wife? Good, go have fun.
Get out of here.
That's it.
You
That's
crazy kid.
Otherwise, you're just being selfish."
Generally, non-religious ceremonies are like 20 minutes. I think the ceremony itself lasts like
exactly.
Yeah, mine are quick.
Yeah, in and out. I mean,
I've been to a Catholic wedding that was like 2 hours in the church. It was terrible.
Oh my God.
And then I want to have say at least on 1 item menu. It may not go with anything else that the entire thing is done, but I need at least 1 with which to. I don't care if you want a whole festive boutique of chicken and parsley and all this stuff. I just want 1 item menu. Macaroni and cheese. I know I don't eat cheese anymore, but I will on that day, and I will
indulge.
Yes, I will have a delicious honeymoon inside the bathroom for the rest of the night.
On your wedding day, you are going to be shitting your pants.
Oh yeah, and with all
more importantly, on your wedding night, you're going to be shitting your pants.
Yeah. Well, keep in mind that I will be dancing. I will be a part of the festivities, and 2, I will be enjoying myself during the after party. So it will all be transversing down. You'll probably hear a gurgle if you're next to me on the dance floor, but I will ignore it, and I will be wearing brown pants of some kind if the wife knows what's good for her. Just in case, as an emergency shoot. And that's all I care about.
Dear.
So, Phil, I thought you didn't want to get married.
Well, that's problem number 1, right? Is that
so someone's trapped you. Step 1.
Yeah, step 1. So somebody's abducted me, and we're in Spain, and I'm being forced to be with them for a year as their sex slave.
To all the ladies out there, the challenge has been laid. Can you convince Phil otherwise?
Yeah, I think if I had to, I'm not against marriage. It's just the boundaries upon which we would have to do so. I mean, this is getting very personal, but the boundaries upon which we would have to overcome in order for me to become married would be pretty high. Like I think for me, marriage is very. It's just I think I'm one of those people that can't really commit to things unless it's I see where the end commitment is, or if I can have a somewhat easy exit point. That's where I am with commitment. So therefore, marriage, by definition, sort of unappeals to me. But I'm not against it.
What about for tax reasons?
You know what? I will say,
Classic.
yes. In all this, there are logical, fundamental reasons why I could get married. I offered. I mean, if we're being open and honest here on the podcast, I actually offered to marry you in order to keep you here.
You did
under
you
visa.
Did.
Wow. So and that was a genuine offer, by the way. I very much.
IRS, if you're listening, I turned it down.
He declined. He did decline.
I wanted to be an honest and legal immigrant.
You know what's funny about that, though, is that what is that marriage? Because I'm not offering everybody to be married to me. It is an offering of love. That is a love offering of being like, hey, that would still be a marriage of love, even though it's not in the true sense of whatever it is. But
let me just going a little off topic. The immigration, U.S. immigration will find any reason to say no. But anyway, okay, I have a question for you, Julia.
Yes.
And this I don't know if this really counts as controversial. We did bring up Catholic weddings. Generally, and given that you're not a priest or a pastor, and that's, I don't know you, Julia. This is the first time we've spoken. So are you a priest or a pastor? I don't think so.
Oh, no.
No, yeah. So I'm guessing that most
the first
of
couple I married is actually gay and trans. So, boom.
Oh, very
Shakalaka.
Nice. So given that you're not part of any religious institution, I'm guessing the most of your clients, if I can call them clients, would not be necessarily religious, or at least their wedding wouldn't be religious. Are you expected to incorporate any religion that the couple does have into the ceremony, or do you just leave that entirely out of it?
I like to interview them before anything happens, before I even write a ceremony. That way, once again, we can find our word. I can ask them about traditions that they might want at their wedding, because there's a lot of cute ones. There's pouring sand and wine and whatever. But I can also ask them that. Are we a religious couple? Are we incorporating any texts or readings or poems or that kind of thing? That way, I know what's going on, and they can get what they want out of their ceremony.
Nice.
But I would be willing to try other religions.
Yeah.
I would look it up.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So depending on what it asked of you, you're not necessarily above, I don't know, doing a Buddhist wedding. I don't know how they specified their own weddings. You're not above maybe doing a Swedish wedding where there's like a Viking horn or anything else.
Yeah, as long as I'm finding a way to do it respectfully and not look like I'm
right.
mocking the culture.
Right, you're just like, everybody,
right.
I am not of this culture, but out of respect and the wishes of the two, I am going to wear this Viking helmet and be called Helga henceforth. If you find me out on the dance floor, just call me Helga.
Oh, goodness. I imagine that, unless we're close friends, they would get somebody from their culture to do their wedding.
Julia,
probably.
Yeah.
I
go ahead, David.
I've always wanted to go since seeing my Big Fat Greek Wedding. I've always wanted to go. There's like three main weddings: a Greek wedding, an Italian wedding, which is funny because I have a lot of Italian family, but I've never been to an Italian wedding, and a Jewish wedding. I feel like the Jewish weddings are the biggest parties
those are
of all.
underrated on the power rankings of weddings.
Yeah.
They are pretty fun. I mean, you get in a chair over there, you smash some glass. I'm not entirely sure of all what they do over there, but from what I've seen, it's quite fun. It's a party. It's a group.
If the movies are to be believed, then like the people are lifting people, and like there's just the dancing is constant. Yeah.
Now I have
definitely on the bucket list.
I have a fun outside question. Well, it still relates, but this hasn't obviously happened to you, Julia, but I'm sure that it will. And maybe both of you can comment on this since none of us have experienced it, I imagine. But so there's the idea of polygamy where people will marry multiple people. If this happens, Julia, and you're to officiate, what would that be? The second marriage of either two two married people incorporating a third, or maybe it's one person within the married couple just wants to marry another person. How would you incorporate that yourself? Would you have do we think that let's go first that the two are already there, because right now we're like the Michael Jordan right here. We have the triangle offense where the officiant's in between the two standing opposite. But if there's three there, we have four. Do we have to do like one of those Hamilton cameras where somebody, like a cameraman's in the middle and just slowly rotating to everybody in the four dimensions, and you guys create the fifth element of love together? What is that? What does that look like, Julia?
Oh, that'd be kind of hard. I mean, obviously we can't legally marry four people, but it's fun to do a ceremony. So that way I think we could actually get creative with it. I might suggest doing like a group vow, maybe like a repeat after me kind of situation. And then I'd be like, do you all take each other? And they all say, I do.
We do.
I don't know. Unless they all really adamantly want to be separate. Yeah.
I think that you have to do it. You can't do it at the front of with an aisle and there's a front. I think you have to have a circular wedding, like where everyone sits around and the three people or three plus people and the officiant stand in the middle of that circle. I mean, otherwise, how do you make it fair?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like you couldn't even have bridesmaids and groomsmen up there at that point. It's like the four is enough.
There's enough people up there.
Yeah, it's a party.
Enough people up there getting married.
Party on the altar.
So we talked about.
I will say, I think it's not legal yet. I mean, you never know. I mean, times are changing.
Yeah, we are
quickly,
expanding.
So
We are going down that theory of evolution.
I'm not sure if it might be legal anywhere in the United States, or if Canada does it, the U.S. is probably 10 to 20 years behind that. That's generally how it goes.
We'll have to come back. We'll have to see if your prediction is correct, like the Super Bowl.
Absolutely. There we go. See, I told you she's an avid listener. Yes, she does. Yes, she does. We talked about my ideas of how I am somewhat reclusive, and I'm not very much into the idea of marriage. I'm not against it wholly. I'm not like, I'm never getting married. No, I'm just, I find it hard to believe that I will, just because of how I kind of see it. Both of you, do you guys find yourselves fully either aiming to look for marriage? Because I know a lot of people that you go to high school with them. Everybody knows people like this, where they go to high school and it seems like from the outside, from everything it looks like, that a lot of people want to settle down into that stereotypical role of find somebody in high school, find the quote-unquote love of their life, get married, settle down, have kids, and fulfill the stereotypical power family dynamic of man does job, woman stays home. I have like 3 of those friends from high school who fulfill that. Is that something that interests you two? Is it Julia? Let's start with you.
I see there definitely is that societal pressure. It's like, oh, I'm leaving college. Like, what's next? Either settle down or do something great, right? I personally know myself. I'm an extrovert. I love to be around other people. And, I'm in love with the concept of love. I would love to find my person, my life partner. But I definitely wouldn't want to rush into that. Definitely divorce is very scary. In fact, if you have divorce in your family, either your parents or your grandparents, you are more likely to get divorced, which is unfortunate. But I would like to think that I could see myself getting married in the future. If not, then you know what? I'm going to be like Cher. We're going to be I am the rich man.
One moment, David. So Julia, that just to make it clear, if you were to get married, is it, and would you think that you would ever be able to be divorced and be happy? Or 2, if you were to get divorced, could you ever remarry? Or was it like one and done, or I married first for love, and then I married the first time for love, and then the second?
I like to joke that there's no way out. It's like till death do us part. But I like to think there's always hope. There's always hope. I think sometimes, you enjoy each other, and then life happens. Life goes on. You change as a person. They change as a person. And sometimes there's nothing you can do about it.
All right. Hoffman?
Yeah, I mean, I really agree with Julia. on most accounts. I graduated college like almost 2 years ago.
I could see you being a
My second
polygamist, David.
Ew.
second college. I have a policy, Phil. I never say never. I really doubt it, but I never say never. You never know who you're gonna meet, or
You never say no,
and who
and you will
already has a partner. Or,
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, I'll try anything once, right? No,
Wow.
when
I
you're
definitely want to get married. I've always wanted to get married. I've always wanted kids. I do. I have this statistic looming over, and it's also about divorce. Is that 90% of relationships that start before 30 don't last forever, right? They end at some point. And obviously, the older you get, the better your stats get. So,
Right.
I'm not rushing into anything, but I would like to, I mean, ideally I would like to meet somebody in the next few years, and yeah, I would see myself getting married, and yeah, I want a house and kids. Call me crazy.
Do it.
call you. Yes, there are many things I can call you, but crazy I don't think is one of them. All right. Well, thank you so much for hopping along, Julia. We got to have you back sometime. Thank you so much, and then
Yes,
we'll
please.
we'll talk about the drama side of your life or something else. Something else. We will.
Some.
Yeah, we will find a different way. But for now, let us break here, and we'll bring you back in a little bit for a game. Sound good?
I look forward to it.
All right. Here we go. Let's sit. Let's just warm up by the campfire here.
All right, we've shifted things around a little bit, and we are streamlining this podcast and mixing things up. So this week we're doing fun factoid, and next week we will be doing some other kind of mini segment. And
so-
then fun factoid may do a revisit somewhere down the line.
Absolutely. I think if we're going to be, for those of you who have been faithful listeners, continuing to listen each and every week, we are going to remove just that, including all of the mini segments, and instead we'll just do a rotation of them. So if you have a favorite segment and that we miss one week, keep in mind, keep the faith. We will bring it back. Just further on down the line. If not this week, maybe the next one or whatever, and we will keep it in rotation. So no need to worry if we don't get to your to your mini segment this week, which is fun factoid, or if whatever, we will get back to it in a later episode down the line of the month. David, what is your fun factoid of the week?
This fun factoid is very, very fun indeed, and it's got. I mean, some people who don't like movies have got to be getting sick of all the Oscar talk that we do on here. But I'm excited, and Phil is too. I know that, and many people, especially around LA and the movie business, are very excited. So, this year, 70 women have received 76 nominations at the 93rd Oscars, and that is by far and away more than any other year in history.
Wow, way to go. All right, for my fun factoid of the week.
70 women.
Yeah, 70. That's very nice. For my fun factoid of the week, I centered it around wedding themes and love and romance and all that jazz. In 2017, scientists began a global search to find a mate for Jeremy, a rare left-coiled snail. Since his shell coiled in the opposite direction of most snails, his organs couldn't align with others. So 2 contenders were found, but they mated with each other instead of Jeremy.
All right, once more into, I don't know, where are we going, Phil?
Well, we're going
This is,
directly into the tent here, buddy. We're going to snuggle up and get
once more
awards
into
ready.
the past.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Into the past. We're traveling back 1 week to our main topic last week, where we hosted our very first, our premier Powwow Prestige Awards. If you tuned in last week, we're happy to have you back, and I'm sure you're eagerly awaiting the results of the polls, that the awards that were unpresented last week. And
Yes.
we start out.
There were a
Philip,
majority of them because the only award that was given out
Yeah.
was Dragon Tales, which won for Best Series for the younger audience. First nomination, first win. Way to go.
which I conceded to you, and you had no grace to concede one back to me.
Yes, I know.
All right, so our first category that had no winner last week was Best Meme Material. Philip, you nominated.
I nominated Arthur.
Yeah, and we had some a funny meme posted on our story, and we allowed you guys to vote. Arthur against my nomination, Tom and Jerry, and it was so close. It came down to one vote.
Wow.
One vote. Yeah, and I felt betrayed by a lot of my friends who I thought had the similar upbringing to me, but man, broke my heart. Arthur is the winner.
Yeah, way to go, buddy.
17 votes to 16, 52% of the vote. Well done, Arthur. I'm heartbroken, but life goes on.
Our next category was Best Character in a Leading Role. We had a three-person race for this prestigious award. It was Miss Frizzle, Bugs Bunny, and Kim Possible. Hoffman, who won?
So we had votes for all three characters.
All right.
I'm sorry to say, only 3 for Miss Frizzle.
Ugh.
One of which was your host, your lovely host, Philip Palado. We had 1, 2, 3 for Kim Possible, and then 8 for Bugs Bunny. So Bugs Bunny is your winner for Best Character in a Leading Role.
Yeah, I'm not too upset. I do still believe Miss Frizzle, but I can understand how Bugs Bunny won that award. We move on to Best Character in a Supporting Role. The nominees were Daffy Duck and Plankton. Hoffman, who won?
Yeah, this one was another really, really close
Back and
race,
forth.
and
Yeah.
it went back and forth like a number of times. And again, my own cousin, whom I watched these cartoons with when I was growing up, broke my heart and voted for Plankton, and Plankton was the winner by 2
Yes.
votes, 19 to 17. He got 53% to 47%. Plankton is your best character in a supporting role, and this is the one I am most mad about. You know why? Because Phil, tell him who you voted for.
I voted for Daffy Duck. Even though I nominated Plankton, I voted for Daffy Duck, and here's why. Is because you're absolutely right. I did not concede an award to you. I wasn't gracious in co-hosting and doing the same unto one host as I would have done unto me. So I felt in the spirit of competition, the closest category I felt that could have gone either way was this particular category with Daffy Duck, I think having a marginal lead in it. So I voted for Daffy Duck. To be fair, it was my form of concession, but it still didn't matter because the people were right,
Yeah.
baby.
The people were wrong, but the people have spoken.
Yes.
And yeah, Plankton is the winner.
We move on to our second to last one here. Best theme song in a series. We had a 2-person race for this one as well. Scooby-Doo. The Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? And then Magic School Bus. Looking on the sideways, they're gonna do the stars. And then who won here?
Yeah,
Hoffman?
and let me tell you, oh my goodness, this one was not even close at all. We had 24 votes for Scooby-Doo and 5 for Magic School Bus. Hey Phil, the people spoke. The people
No, the
shared
people
their
punished me is what the
truest
people did.
feelings.
The people punished me. The people went out of their way to just go against what I said. Now, I had this point brought up to me, and forgive me if you said this, David. I'm not quite sure where it came up for. But Scooby-Doo is quite possibly much more memorable. You talk to anybody, and they're like, oh, Scooby-Doo. But I can, and much more than Magic School Bus. I think some people might have forgotten, like, yeah, that's how it goes. But Magic School Bus, once you hear it, it is undeniably good. From start to
It's good,
start to
yeah.
finish.
But it's I agree. I do really agree with the people. I think Scooby-Doo hands down was the winner there. And
Finally,
yeah, and it was reflected in the voting.
yeah.
And yeah, let's just move on.
Let's move on because I'm going to get frustrated and blow a blood vessel. Best franchise came down to two franchisees in this particular case. We go to Scooby-Doo and Sesame Street. And this is probably the one that I heard the most feedback on. A lot of people having problem saying, Sesame Street isn't a cartoon. Sesame Street doesn't deserve to be in here.
You know what? You know what? I made my peace with that. You know what did bother me though is that technically Sesame Street is not a franchise. Sesame Street is a part of the greater Muppet show, isn't it?
No, it's not. Just no, because Sesame Street is completely separate.
All right. Well,
Either way.
regardless, Scooby-Doo did win 20 votes to 10. It was a little closer than the theme song, but pretty comprehensive victory. 20 votes to 10, 67% of the vote. Well done, Scooby-Doo, the greatest franchise
I'm betrayed.
ever.
I'm friggin' betrayed.
All right, for this week's game, I got to pick the format, and this week I decided to be a little creative. This week we're playing a matching game.
Yes.
So I'm gonna give Philip a prompt, and there'll be 5 prompts and 5 options, and he has to match the prompt to one of the 5 options.
Yes. So
And if he gets one correct, that option will disappear, and there will be 4 left, and then 3 left, and so on.
So just to be abundantly clear, we have 5 prompts, and then once you use it, there is no going back. At the end of your 5 prompts, you can't mix and match and then rearrange them. Correct? You have to once you marry yourself, quote unquote, with the pun and everything of today. Once you put
So-
yourself with that, you cannot go back and readjust. Correct?
No, if you get it wrong, then that option remains, and it kind of makes it harder.
It does. It really does.
So if you get it right, that option disappears, and you make it easier. It'll be 4 prompts left and 4 options left. But if you get it wrong, then you still got 5 options left, and you just have to do your best.
All right. Sounds good.
Does that make sense?
It does. I think I might
right.
need a little help though with this prompt. It's a bit much.
Okay.
Uh,
All right. It should make sense once we get started, and we have the great joy of welcoming back Julia, who's with us for our main topic. Julia, are you ready to participate with us?
Oh, I'm ready.
All right, Julia, here we
Yeah,
go.
so-
It's me versus you, all right? So if you do better than me, you're going to cause me to lose yet another week, but no pressure, okay?
Right. So even if
Oh,
Phil
goodness.
gets 4 out of 5, if Julia beats him, then Phil is a big fat loser.
Yes, and you have a tiebreaker just in case,
all right.
correct, David?
Okay.
I do.
Fantastic.
All right. So my topic is Oscar themed, and we are looking at very old Best Picture winners.
Oof.
I'm gonna name the movie, and then you have 5 years, and you tell me which year it was awarded the Academy Award for Best Picture.
Okay, so
that make sense?
yes, so you're going to be giving us the years all in advance, and then you'll be giving us the movies one by one, correct?
Correct.
All right.
So you have the years that are available to you: 1963, 1966, 1960, 1958, and 1951.
God, they're all out of order.
Yeah. 60. All right, so just to be clear, abundantly
Okay.
clear, 63, 66, 60,
That's
58, and 51. Do I have them all, David?
Oh, wow. Good memory.
Yes.
I wrote them down, Julia. There is no way in
Oh,
heck
boo.
that I... There is no...
Boo! He's going to win.
I've played too many of these dang things to lose that I
Oh,
didn't
goodness,
come
I need paper.
underprepared. All right. All right, hit me with the first one. I'm ready for some freaking Yankee Doodle or something back in the day.
Your first one is The Sound of Music.
Ooh. Who goes
I'll
first?
give you the years again, and this time I'll do it in order. It's 1951, 1958, 1960, 1963, and 1966. The Sound of Music.
Who do you want answering first, David?
Let's give it to Julia.
All right, Julia, go ahead and pick
Oh,
your
God,
first
no.
year.
I'm truly clueless. So let's say 58. That was an option, right?
Yeah, that was an option.
You only said it like 3 times.
I'm going to go
Yes.
with 60. That's going to be my 60.
You are both wrong,
Oh, good.
Good, fantastic.
and the correct year remains an option for the rest of these.
Fantastic. So we know we
Okay.
got this one wrong,
Your-
and we have another one
Your
wrong
second
in the future.
Prompt. Not necessarily, because you all still have all 5 options. So All About Eve. All About Eve.
Oh, I guess that goes to
Do you
me
need
first.
the years again?
No, I'm good.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with 63. 63.
I don't
And
even
Julia?
know what that film is.
I've never heard of it. It sounds like Chasing
You know what?
Amy or
I'm
something.
58 again. We're gonna stick with it. Not because it's the only one I know.
It's a strategy. It is a strategy.
One of them has to be right.
You are both wrong again.
Woo!
Okay.
Unfortunately,
Fantastic.
I'm sorry.
Welcome to the
I
club,
thought
Julia.
This would be easier. All right, your next prompt is Lawrence of Arabia.
Wow.
Okay, Julia.
Dibs
goes
on
to you first.
66. 66.
I was gonna say 66 too, so we're both there. We're both on 66.
Okay, and you're both wrong.
Oh. Never mind then, Julia. Jeez Louise, this is painful.
Oh no.
This is just
We suck
absolutely.
with
It
Stuck
is. It
together.
is painful. Oh my god, I'm not enjoying this at all. All right.
Don't worry, we are.
That one was probably 58.
The
I'm
bridge. The bridge on the River Kwai.
Oh. I go first. I'm gonna go with 63. 63.
guessing. I'm gonna say 51.
And you're both wrong.
Jeez Louise. See what I would like
Julia?
to. Okay, so
You
Julia,
have to get this.
Julia,
You
do
have
you
to
see?
get
No,
this
I
next
don't.
one right.
No, I don't.
Julia, do you see?
Okay.
I'd like to bring in Julia here. Your games compared to mine have been completely shifted, and I think that this proves it. This proves it more than anything else.
You're right. You're
Yeah.
right about this week. I didn't realize it
Yeah,
was going to
David's
be
pretty
so
mean.
ridiculous.
Yes, absolutely. All right, fantastic. All right, if we don't get this, then David has a tiebreaker, but I'm sure that we're gonna nail this one. All right, continue on.
He said I have to get it. Which
All
means
right, your
I know
last
what it
one is Ben-Hur.
Ben-Hur. Julia, which year are you
is.
going with?
58. We're going with 58.
I honestly think I'd stand a better chance in the tiebreaker. I'm tempted to say 58 as well, but you know what? I'm gonna go with 63. It's been one of my favorite ones. I'm gonna stick with 63.
The correct answer was 1960.
Oh my God. Okay, bring us to the
That is
tiebreaker
all
round.
5 movies. That is all 5 movies. I'm going to give you guys the correct answers. Lawrence of Arabia, 1963. Sound of
Boo.
Music, 1966.
Oh,
Ben-Hur,
wow.
1960. The Bridge on the River Kwai, 1958. And All About Eve was the earliest, 1951.
I guess I should have known.
All
no,
right.
musicals. Never mind. I wouldn't have known. Anyways, all right. Our tiebreaker, David.
Okay, guys. The tiebreaker is I'm going to name nominations, all the Best Picture nominations from a certain year. And whoever can name the year or gets closest to it will win. Does that
Okay.
sound
Yes.
fair?
Yes. I don't have
Oh,
any
man.
faith whatsoever in myself, but here we go. I cannot wait for a 1976 year. Let's go.
Yikes. Okay, so the nominations for Best Picture in this year were The Sixth Sense, The Insider, The Green Mile, The Cider House Rules, and American Beauty.
Okay. I feel pretty good about this one. Who goes first, David?
I'm gonna give it to you first, Phil.
Okay, this is a year. This is Michael Caine in his prime. I went for the Cider House Rules. For that, I think it's got to be. Oh man, I think that's like a 19. I'm gonna go 1999. Julia goes to you.
For the same film?
Yeah, so all these were in
Why
this.
do you
Say
get
out,
to pick?
same.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, in the same year?
yeah, all these were done in the same year.
Okay.
Yeah, so
My
those are all
instinct
the
for
nominations
American
for 1 year.
Beauty. My instinct for American Beauty is I want to say 91. I know it's 90s. Oh, you could be right.
What's your guess, Julia?
Yeah, what's your guess?
Oh, I'm sorry, 91. 91.
Oh,
was my-
okay. I was like, is she looking it up? I think that's
No!
blatantly illegal.
Oh my goodness.
It was 2000.
Yeah, baby!
2000.
Boo. Boo.
Which actually, that was the year the ceremony happened. So the movies all came out in '99.
99,
So Phil,
yeah.
I
you
was
were spot on, my friend.
fan freaking
Good on you.
tastic. Yeah, once we get beyond Lawrence of Arabia,
And
I can flex a little bit.
for Phil has real stakes here. So
Yeah.
so
I needed that way
probably
more than you did,
Promise I
Julia.
didn't throw it.
Yeah.
I promise.
All right, we swap over.
I'm glad that happened because I will fully acknowledge to our listeners that my little quiz there was way too hard.
Oh yeah, I'm really willing and able to forgive you for that one. If this comes down to a tiebreaker and I lose by like three wrong answers, I'm gonna come directly back to this freaking game and say I declare a mulligan. Anyways, all right, we flip it over and swap and exchange it to my version of this game. I also am doing the matching game where I've got 5 answers, and as we go along, I have 5 prompts. Now, I hope that you guys both have a pen and paper as well, or some writing device with which to list out these answers. They're all in dollar amounts, so it shouldn't be too hard.
Okay.
We've got,
Okay.
and mine are in order. We've got $500, $780, $1,610, $3,726, and $4,466. So we've got 5 answers here: 500, 780, 1610.
So can you say those last 2 again?
I'm right on it. 3726 and 4,466. We all good? Everybody have them all written down?
Sorry, listeners. I am on a different continent, so sometimes the audio breaks up.
That's
all
all
right.
right.
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. And this is themed with our podcast. What is the average price of a DJ for a wedding in the U.S.? In the U.S., David, you are going to have to play by U.S. rules here. Out of the list of prices, what is the average price of a DJ for a wedding? Julia, you went first for the game that we played, so I'm going to put you first here as well. Average price of a DJ for a wedding.
It really matters how long your reception is. I'm going to go... See, my first instinct is 500, but I think I'm going to go 780. Oh, I'm going to regret it, aren't
Okay, we go over to you, Hoffman.
I was between the middle 3, I guess. I'm just gonna hit middle. 1610.
1610 is where you're going. All right. Next.
You were gonna say correct.
No. We move on. Oh, I guess I do have to tell you, huh? Yeah, that's how it went. Julia hit it right on the nose, right on the money. 780. She is correct. 780 is there. So, David, you have one wrong upcoming here.
Thank you.
Moving on to the next one. Average price for a honeymoon. Average price for a honeymoon. David, we go to you first.
I'm gonna go. See, flights and then, but then again, like not everyone goes to friggin' Hawaii. You know, some people go to a trailer park.
Staycations? Oh, jeez.
A trailer
Go to
park.
Tulsa?
Come on. Gross.
I mean, hey, some people like that. I'm just gonna go 3726.
Okay. And Julia, we go to you.
We're probably not able to pick the same one, huh?
You can. There's nothing prohibiting it. You and me did the same one multiple times.
Yeah.
Average price for a honeymoon. Again, the listing prices are 500.
Some people really splurge, and some people just, spend it all in the wedding and then don't leave themselves anything. So
Absolutely.
I want to side with him. I want to say 3726.
3726 for both of you, and you both are wrong. We move on to the average price for a ring. Or rings, actually. In this case, it's rings. So for both the man and woman, or actually I shouldn't say that. For the couple's rings, it's usually this amount. We move back to Julia. Julia, what is the average price for both rings? Again, the listing prices are 500, 780, 1610, 3726, or $4,466.
Oh, okay. So easily the wife's ring could be so much more expensive. I think the engagement versus wedding bands. I kind of want to go 37.26 again. God, I'm really sticking to the same
All
numbers,
right.
huh?
She's going back to the wealth, 37.26.
I am going. I'm gonna go lower. I'm gonna go 16.10.
And with that, David is on the board here. 16.10 is the
Yes.
correct answer for the average price for rings.
Good on you. Good.
We move on to the average price for an open bar for 126 people, which is the average number of participants most weddings have these days.
Wow.
So average price for an open bar. We go to you, David. You start us out here. What is the average price?
Let's see, 126 people. It's gotta be 37.26.
He's sticking to it. He wants it. He wants it there. Julia, where are you going?
Man. Okay, so I'm guessing the honeymoon was 44.66. We've done everything. It's not 500. Yeah, 37.20. It's gotta be it.
All right.
Gotta be.
That you both nailed it. It is absolutely right there. 37.26, very expensive for an open bar, but hey,
God.
it makes it just that much better. Last one, but certainly not least. Average price for a wedding cake. We go to you, Julia. What is the average price for a wedding cake?
Oh, maybe $500.
She's gonna put it down for $500. David.
Look, I mean, with the options that are left, I mean, it's kind of impossible. It's got to be 500.
It's got to
No
be
repeats.
500, and it is $500.
Wow.
Yes, I think going in the future we should just go by it and not have you guys know which ones are correct, because then we get to this last
Right,
one.
yeah,
But
that was,
you both go to it and you both tie and you both have 3 correct ones. We go to our tiebreaker right here. I want both of you. You guys are going to be playing the Price is Right version of this. I'm going to be asking you, what is the average price of a wedding dress? And again, closest without going over. And you know what, David, since you caught up to Julia, I'm gonna have you go first. You'll be setting the mark here.
Oh, man. I feel like I don't know this, but I feel like there's a much bigger chance that Julia's been wedding dress shopping, and I have definitely not. Okay.
Maybe a
average
Goodwill.
price. Not necessarily for yourself, but
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for theater maybe.
For bridesmaids.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to say the average price for a wedding dress.
Remember, closest
Is-
without going over, for what that's worth.
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
yeah, and
stress
that's what
them
I'm
out.
afraid of. 14.50.
1450. All right, Julia, you've got a couple options here with him setting
Oh,
it there.
boo.
You got a couple options. Where do you want to go? 1450 is said by David.
That's a pretty good sitting place.
Yeah, and
Right
Julia,
there.
I want you to win this. If nothing else, I need to catch
See,
up on.
I was thinking I could
Why
easily
have
have
you
been
do
like
this?
14.50 when it's actually like 10,000 or something.
Right.
Well, you think everyone just has $10,000? My mom, fun fact, thrifted her dress for $200. She went to one of those sales.
Wow.
I don't know if it was a
Wow.
resale. Yeah, $200. So
Way to go, Mary.
you know what? Let's lowball. Let's say 500. Why not? Let's can't go over, right?
Right. So I will give you the forecast here. Neither one of you went over,
Okay. Well then.
Ooh,
which
yay.
means that David, you did in fact win. The average price is $16.31 for a wedding dress. I'm sure a couple of those Goodwill dresses helped to bring the price down
Yeah.
from those
Yeah,
10,000 New York style dresses that I have a couple of friends who have gotten married and
Yeah,
spent their entire load
Shame
on
on
it.
them.
Yeah,
People who
Shame
spend
on them.
10,000 on a dress and then have to honeymoon at the trailer park.
exactly.
Just becomes a napkin after that. Goodness.
Absolutely. All right, Julia, you have made your debut here on the Powwow podcast, and you are 0 for 2. How poetic! But we thank you for coming on here. I'm glad that you didn't stand in my way of winning. I wish that you could have. You came close. You had 2 options. You could have gone 1451 against David, or you could have lowballed it. It was a 50-50 shot. But we thank you so much for joining us on the podcast. We'll see you sometime in the future. All right.
Thanks, guys. Keep on keeping on.
All right. Later, Julia. Thank you so much, Jake, for that vibing and bootylicious, booty thumping That Slaps. We love it. It is one of our favorite segments in the show, if nothing else, because of that little riff you got going. Bless you. Of course, this is the segment called That Slaps. It's where we give to you, the listening audience, our favorite form of entertainment of the week. I like to theme mine up. David, he's really more so about he's more true to the form of what it stands for, of just whatever entertains him that week, which is conceivable. I'm unable to be themed. Anyways, go ahead, Hoffman. What is your That Slaps of this week? It can be a movie, it can be a TV show, just some form of entertainment.
I would like so I'm in the process of watching every single nomination for an Oscar, whether it's nominated for Best Picture or for Best Editing or Best Makeup and Hair, everything. And honorable mention goes out to a Shaun the Sheep movie, Farmageddon. I had a good laugh there, but it's not my That Slaps. I just wanted to mention it because it's fun.
Okay.
I'm gonna. Last week I gave you guys Dreams by a couple friends of mine, a song called Dreams, and it got me thinking, and I listened to it again this week. Dreams by Fleetwood Mac, I think, is one of the greatest songs ever written, in my opinion. It's just an opinion. Dreams by Fleetwood Mac, I love that song to death. It slaps. Philip.
Yeah, since we are wedding themed for this entire episode, I kind of went with one that I would want played at my wedding that I think fits inside of a wedding, and it's very sweet, very tender. I actually love this song. It's been on repeat for me all week. Of course, it's a cover of it, but I love this cover. That song is called Time After Time, and it's by Sam Smith. I'm not usually...
no.
Well... No, listen to it. He's not doing the full thing. His voice has character in it. It's undeniable character in it. I think his sultry tones work on this because it's not his normal content. It's somebody else's, and the character of his voice shines through in this ballad, and it's very... I like the options that he makes and that subvert what you normally associate with this song. Time After Time by Sam Smith. Go check it out. And by the way, are we? I guess I can edit this out if we don't. But do we have the playlist up yet? No.
Yeah. So right now, no. But
okay. But by the time this comes out, yes,
the playlist will be available. So listeners, the playlist is available, and I will figure out some way to share it on our Instagram and our Twitter. Because obviously it'll be on my personal Spotify, so I have to create the playlist on my personal Spotify. But it will be there. There will be a That Slaps playlist if you ever want to follow it and give it a listen on Spotify.
Again, there will be no concurring theme within the playlist. Just enjoy the randomness of it.
It'll be wacky.
That is the end of our show. Thank you so much for joining us in the woods. We really appreciate it. Shout out to Tara Amstutz for her wonderful graphic design, all surrounding the entire show. We love it, and we try to incorporate it everywhere we can, everywhere possible.
And to Cass and Crossland for that intro and outro music, and to Jake Corlang for the bass line. Thank you, guys.
Make sure to listen to us on any platform that you can listen to your regularly scheduled podcasts. We come out with new episodes each and every Wednesday, 12 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And, of course, everywhere that you want to listen to us, we are there. We have a couple of backlogged episodes. Make sure you listen back into the archives now that we have a couple episodes in the bank. They're all fun. They're all great. And you can listen to a couple more fireplace stuff and grab a marshmallow or two while you're at it.
Here in the Alaskan wilderness, we have grizzly bears, black bears, brown bears, gummy bears, and chalk bears.